While the debate about whether a wild mountain lion has existed in New Hampshire in modern times continues, one New England state got a pretty clear answer to the question. June 2011, a large animal emerged from the woods and onto a highway in Milford, Connecticut. In a flash, it was hit by a car and killed. The shocking twist, that animal was a mountain lion. But where did it come from? Using DNA tests and visual reports, it turns out this male mountain lion walked there all the way from South Dakota. While eastern mountain lions may be gone, western mountain lions thrive in large numbers in the Midwest.
The closest population I know of occurs in I want to say the central Midwest area, North Dakota, South Dakota.
Experts say females stay close to their birthplace, but male mountain lions will travel great distances to find food and to mate. In this case, the large cat walked 1,800 miles, leaving one big truth.
A male mountain lion from the Midwestern part of the United States can migrate and make it to the Northeast, including New Hampshire. So that means that an animal could have been, can be, or may come to New Hampshire.
Could we be seeing wandering male mountain lions in New Hampshire? Possibly. But some go a step further. They believe the original population from the 1800s never left.
What do you say to the skeptics out there? Say,
get out there and look, they're out there.
Marlow resident Linda McCracken says she's seen wild mountain lions and now investigates reported sightings.
That's how I got into research. About 80% of my friends had seen mountain lions.
Linda believes these cats are not lone males simply headed in the wrong direction, like the Connecticut case, but descendants of the original eastern mountain lions that have been breeding families in the woods of New Hampshire.
I know there are families because I've had people see more than one together, including small kittens.
Over the years, she says the number of reports in New Hampshire has increased.
It used to be just a few sightings per decade, and then around the year 2000 I was getting hundreds of sightings. Right.
To prove their existence, Linda has spent years seeking hard evidence, documenting any sighting she can find.
This is a skid mark in the mud and a quarter there, so you can see the size of it.
She's photographed paw tracks and collected animal scat she believes came from mountain lions. But so far the state says there is no definitive DNA tests or other proof like a picture or video. Which is why she set up game cameras deep in the woods, hoping to capture the mythical cougar on camera. What she found was interesting. Linda's cameras did catch large cats multiple times, cats that are now thriving in New Hampshire. These are bobcats. Which brings us to a common point of contention in this debate: mistaken identity.
Usually a hoax when a friend plays on a friend.
When Patrick Tate gets a report about a mountain lion, he's looking for verifiable proof. Things like scat or hair that can be DNA tested, cat tracks, or photos. But they are sometimes easily debunked. Take a look at these photos from actual reports Fish and Game has received. In some cases, the pictures are grainy house cats, simply shot from a funny perspective. In others, the photo shows a real mountain lion, but a quick internet search shows
they're pictures lifted from the internet and then later reported as being taken in the state of New Hampshire.
But when you see some of these photos, it can really look like a mountain lion at first. But trained investigators like Patrick say, look closer.
These are pictures that came in as mountain lion reports, but they're actually bobcats. And we get a high number of bobcats reported as mountain lion.
All this leading to the official stance from State Fish and Game. Mountain lions may be here, but so far there isn't the evidence to prove it. But many we spoke with say mountain lions look different than bobcats, especially one very distinct feature repeated by eyewitnesses.
Particularly the long tail. It had the long tail that reached almost to the ground and curled up a bit.
You be the judge here. Could you tell the difference if you saw a quick glimpse? Would you notice the tail? Those we spoke with are convinced yes.
When I came home, I did some research, and I know I didn't see a bobcat.
Here's another twist in this debate. The fact that Fish and Game hasn't confirmed any sightings has led to conspiracy theories that the state is covering it up. Concerned wild mountain lions would impact wildlife funding or future building permits, among other things. But the state says that's unfounded.
It wouldn't change the way New Hampshire Fish and Game operates as far as habitat management or wildlife management. It wouldn't cost the agency or cost the public any money. It would be simply a change in how wildlife is managed.
Experts argue in a day and age when game cameras are everywhere, cell phone cameras are ubiquitous, how is it possible we haven't photographed a New Hampshire mountain lion? Believers say it's simply a matter of time, and they want people to be ready.
My reason for trying to prove that they're here is because I think people need to be educated what to do in case there is a cat.